Hola amigos, this is level 12 and today we are going to be talking about my 15 favorite anime. Now these animes are not in a specific order until like the last 5, and I thought these animes would be perfect to binge watch, and I'm sorry that my mouse was in the screen. For the winter break. A lot of you, it's winter time, you're probably on that break season and you need something to cuddle up with under the blankets and with the fire going or the heat on all the way, and I thought these would be perfect for that. Number 15 is Lucky Star. Lucky Star is an anime where you follow 4 girls through their adventures through high school. Well, more or less their senior year, kinda. Oh, excuse me. And it's mostly a comedy and a parody on other animes because it just is. It's life. And you follow the main girl, Konata, mostly, who is an otaku, and you kind of, if you're a true otaku, you can really connect with her and her struggles through the school life and just being weird, and it's really cute and it's funny, and it's one of the few comedy animes that I laughed at. And as you can see over here on the side, I have episode count, the genre, the age group that I felt was good for it, the My Anime List rating, and my rating. And you'll notice that my ratings generally go kind of good with the My Anime List, except for probably on 1 or 2. Number 14 is Corpse Party. Corpse Party is an anime about these teens who try to do a friendship charm for their friend who's moving away, and they do it wrong because you'll find that out. I have a hard time recommending Corpse Party to people because the anime was not what its source material was, which was an RPG game, and I felt bad for that reason because the game made me cry more than the anime, and I would suggest if you watch Corpse Party and the OVA, you don't get that full experience. I would highly recommend watching someone play the game, and the only one I know that has completed the game is PewDiePie, so enjoy that guy. Number 13 is Yuki, Yuna is a Hero. Yuki, Yuna is a Hero is very similar to Madoka Magica, and the title characters are pretty similar. They just want to help people and save the world, and Yuki, Yuna is a Hero is not that much different, honestly, from Madoka Magica. It's a magical girl anime. It's not all that it seems. They have to fix it. Yada, yada, yada. And also, Season 2 is also coming out in 2017, so if you speed through this anime and you're like, oh, where's Season 2? Season 2 is also a prequel. Oh my gosh, it's coming out the next year! That's only a few days away! Yay! You can have that feeling, because I had that feeling when I found out. Number 12 is Bartender. Bartender is an anime that, if you don't have the time to sit and invest in single episodes that are really slow paced but are really good in the end, I would not recommend it. Bartender is about this guy who owns a bar called Eden Hall that is in like the kind of club / upscale bar district in, I believe, Tokyo. And it's about this bartender who, every customer that comes into his bar, he wants to make the perfect drink for them, and it has to suit them, and it has to be their own little special drink. And he just sits and he listens to their stories and their sorrows, and it's a very good anime, except for the last episode. It's so confusing. I had a feeling it was gonna end the way it did, but I was not prepared for how confusing it was, because all it talked about was how to make good drinks and about how people feel about drinks. And also, by the way, I don't drink very much. Anyway, number 11 is Ouran High School Host Club. Ouran High School Host Club is about this girl named Haruhi who gets a scholarship to this really preppy school, and she wants to sit somewhere and either read or study or do something. So she decides to go into this abandoned music room, but instead it's not abandoned, and these guys greet her, and she gets so flustered that she knocks over a vase, a rather expensive vase, and she has to pay back the money for it by becoming their slave / indentured servant. Now, they thought she was a guy when she first entered, and when they figured out she was a girl, they were like, you must become a host. You must get quota number. I don't remember the number. But they all soon, well, Tamaki and one of the twins in there start to fall for her, and you just follow them around through their adventures through 26 episodes. Unlike most romance comedy anime, there isn't much story until the last few episodes, which I felt the entire anime could have been based around that, which is why the score is kind of low for me, but I liked it overall, and like any harem anime, there's always one guy you'll find as your favorite, and there's different types of guys, and they even name them in the anime, so you don't have to sit there and think, oh my gosh, I want the nerd type, but which one's the nerd type? The one with the glasses, duh. Number 10, Samurai 7. Samurai 7 is an anime, I'm not gonna lie, I missed a couple episodes when it was airing on Adult Swim due to power outage, and I think we went to the beach and I forgot to record it. But anyway, Samurai 7 is about this priest, her sister, and another guy who go into this town because they need samurai to help protect their village because the emperor and his goons are stealing their rice and taking their women through these spaceships. It's mecha, kind of, but more sci-fi than mecha. And they're so poor that they can't pay the people in money, so they say, oh, we're just gonna pay you in rice. Can you please come and help? And they get 7 samurai and they all go back to the village and then they do life. And there's a lot of build up before that. There's a lot of adventure to it, and the ending makes you very sad, and I cried over it, and you know, you're gonna cry because I cried, and that's just how life works. Number 9, Deadman Wonderland. Deadman Wonderland is about this kid, whose name I forget, who's accused of killing all his classmates, and he pleaded not guilty, but his lawyer screwed him over, because, you know, his lawyer sucks, and he was convicted, and he was sent to this prison called Deadman Wonderland that was built over the rubbles of Tokyo that was destroyed by an earthquake many years ago. And the entire prison is filled with people who can shoot blood from their hands, and it's called their branch of sin, and you just follow their adventures as they try to escape. However, Deadman Wonderland is one of those animes where it's like, go read the manga ending, and the manga is 58 something. I finished it. It was pretty good. I like the ending. But if the anime where it ends, you kind of feel like something's missing, but if you're pretty dense, you aren't going to notice too much. So if you're comfortable with just how the anime ended, then you don't have to go read the manga, but just for closure purposes, I would. Number 8 is Black Butler. Black Butler is an anime about this kid named Ciel whose parents are killed in a fire and he is then kidnapped. And then he makes a deal with a demon named Sebastian, and his contract was, hey, you help me find my parents, killer, and then we kill them, and then you take my soul. The end. And you follow their adventures through figuring out who Jack the Ripper was, and then you meet Reapers and Undertakers and all these other people, and it builds up pretty quickly after, like, they introduce all the characters, and it's about half of this, I swear, is just introducing all the characters that are gonna help him find who the killer of his parents were. And as you can see, I put near the episode count for season 1 because there's Black Butler, there's some OVAs, and there's Black Butler season 2, then OVAs, and then there's a circus arc, Sherlock Holmes arc, and then another arc, which either came out this year, like at the end of this year, or it's coming out next year. I have seen Black Butler, the OVAs, Black Butler Season 2, the OVAs, and the circus arc, which I did not like very much, except for the opening song. But if you want to watch all those other ones, I would recommend watching Season 1 first, because you're going to be confused otherwise, and I was confused watching the circus arc, just watching the normal, regular seasons. But that is Black Butler. Number 7 is Tokyo Ghoul. Tokyo Ghoul is about this kid named Kaneki who lives in a world where there are ghouls that have to eat humans because they can't eat anything else other than coffee to survive, and he goes on a date with a girl he meets in a coffee shop. You see where I'm going with this? And she turns out to be a ghoul known as the Binge Eater, and she tries to eat him, but it doesn't work out because some metal falls in her or whatever. And when the paramedics get there, he was still alive, she was dead, but her organs were salvageable. So what they did was they put her organs into him and he becomes like a half-breed. And that doesn't really work out because he isn't as ghoul as all the other ghouls, but he also can't eat regular human food anymore. So he kind of bands with the groups in his Tokyo district, and they stay together and try to evade the police. And then other stuff happens in their season 2 that I haven't seen yet, which I'm gonna see sometime when I finish No Game No Life. Number Number 6 is No Game, No Life. No Game, No Life is about these two nets who are sucked into a world where everything is decided by games because the god was kind of bored and he was like, you know what, we need people that can spice things up a little, and they are immediately implanted into this world where the crown of the humanity race out of all the other 16 races is about to crown its new king, and the old king was like, you know what, let this new one be decided by gambling. So his daughter tries to gamble, but she fails, and then the two main characters, Zora and Shiro, have to win the crown back, which they do, and then they try to capture all the land surrounding Elkin. I think that's how you pronounce the world. I'm not sure. I can't hear it in the dubbed. I mean, I can't hear it in the subbed, and when I read it in the sub, that's how it looks, okay? And so they succeed in doing this over and over again a bunch of times, and you just follow their adventures as they try and win back the lands, and their ultimate goal is to be undefeated and face God. His name is Tet, and they do all this amazing stuff. What drew me into this anime, aside from just games, is the art style. It's very unique and it's kind of glossy is what I would call it. And also it's by my favorite studio, Madhouse, which most of the animes they make are on point, yo. But yeah, that is No Game, No Life. Number 5 is Casshern Sins. I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I saw this anime when I was really, really young. It's probably one of the first ones I saw. And from what I can remember about it, it's in this dystopian future world where there are these kind of robot people, and then there are regular people, and the robot people kill all the normal people they see, and Casshern is like kind of the only good one, or the only one that likes people, and you follow him as he protects, I think he protects this girl and the guy she's traveling with. And you know what, I can't remember this anime too much, but I remember I liked it and it made me cry. So if just this description alone piques your curiosity, I would suggest to go and watch it, because I don't like mecha anime, but it is mecha, and it's not as heavy as others you will find with like the big suits and people powering them. It's really light, and if you're someone who doesn't like mecha, this will definitely be one of the ones you will like, because it's not giant robots, it's people. They're kind of like androids. Number 4 is Nana. Nana is an anime that I could not believe I watched and that I like. I was scrolling through Netflix, and this one kept on popping up in my suggestions box, and all I had been watching were ones like Fullmetal Alchemist and Death Note and all this other kind of, you know, boyish anime. And Nana, the description was these two girls, Nana Kumatsu and Nana, I can't remember her last name. They're both named Nana, and they meet on a train, and then they meet in the same apartment, and they decide to split the bill and whatever. But anyway, the story's about, as I said, two girls named Nana, and they both moved to Tokyo for different reasons. One, because Nana, nicknamed Hachi, she wants to be independent and move in with her boyfriend, and Nana, the one we're just gonna keep on calling Nana, she wants to make it as a rocker with her old band, but with a new lead guitarist or bass guitarist, I can't remember, because it was her boyfriend. And so you follow them, and it's, as you can see, it's 47 episodes, so it's very slowly but evenly paced. And once you start getting up in like the episode 20-ish, you will want to watch every episode in rapid succession, because you're like, oh my gosh, what happens next? What happens next? What happens next? And the ending will make me cry. This one is also kind of go read the manga ending, because where it ends is short of either it's short a couple chapters of what the manga ended on. The anime ended on a much lighter note and a much kind of happier note than in my opinion, what the manga ended on. But again, my opinion, so if you read the manga and also watch Nana, you can make your own assumption. But it's very heart-wrenching. Number 3 is Death Note. Death Note is this anime about a kid who's bored in school, and one day he sees a notebook on the ground that says Death Note. Obviously, when anyone finds something on the ground that says Death Note, pick it up and they take it home. And so a Shinigami, which is the word that means god of death, he tells Light, hey, anyone's name you write in here, they die. And there's a bunch of little like miniature rules that they explain throughout the anime. And you follow him trying to evade the police especially a guy named L, the one you see on screen with the bags under his eyes and that smiling that looks like he's from a horror show. And he tries to evade the police for as long as he can, and then you follow and you see why. And this is an anime me and my friend have discussed on who is the bad guy and who is the good guy, because protagonist is generally described as the main character of any work of fiction or art. But it's also described as a good guy, because antagonist is the bad guy, and it's very fun, and you're rooting for the bad guy in this anime. You're rooting that he doesn't get caught, and you're just, it's so flipped, and it's so cool, and it's such a neat idea. And it's rumored that creator of this was also the creator of Dragon Ball, but it's not sure. It's rumored, which I love. Number 2 is an anime you will hear me talking about a lot. It is Hetalia, and it is my second favorite anime of all time. Now, as you can see, over in the episode count, it's 135 episodes. That is all the seasons, and all episodes in every single season. It's only about 5 minutes long. So, I kind of busted out the first season, which is the one with the most episode, is in season 1 with 52 episodes. I busted that out in about 2 weeks. I would watch about 15 episodes per day, unless I had a lot of homework or it was the weekend in which I listen to music. But Hetalia is about all the countries being personified, and the ones you can see on screen, the bottom are the Nordics, and the one up there is England, also nicknamed Iggy, which I call him a lot in my head. And this anime centers around the Axis powers during World War II. And if you're thinking it's going to be heavy and hard with all the cold facts of World War II, I'm not going to lie, it's not. They really make light of that war, which I kind of like and kind of don't like, because World War II was a sad thing. And a lot of the fan fictions on this show are so dark and heavy, and it's... oh gosh, if you get into this fandom and you really get into it, you better be prepared to learn about a lot of things that you did not know before. But Hetalia also embarks on other wars, such as the Revolutionary War, wars between the Nordics, wars between just Prussia and all the other countries around it. Lots of wars and lots of build-up. And it's just really good. And also there's modern times where they're not fighting a lot, they're just going through the adventures, and you'll learn a lot about culture and history in this. A lot of people will argue, no you won't, and I'm like, yes you will, you just gotta look through the metaphors and read between the lines and look past the cute guys, because oh my gosh, there's so many cute guys. And my favorites from Hetalia are Russia and the Baltics. Ooh. I wish I had found pictures of them, but I didn't. My number one favorite anime is Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. I'm emphasizing Brotherhood because I saw the other one and it wasn't, I was just like, no. But Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood is about these two brothers who try to transmute their mother back to life after she dies, and that is like the forbidden alchemy. You're not supposed to do that, because alchemy is based on equivalent and exchange. Whatever you want, you have to give something of equal value back. And they tried that, and what they gave was things you can buy at a corner store for about a nickel each item. Well, back then you could, now you can't. And it's very cool because there's a movie on it, and if you watch the original Fullmetal Alchemist, it branches off and it shows this is what the world would have been like if we hadn't gone through scientific technology, because this is set in the 1940s, and the movie is set in the 1940s, which, as you know, is World War II time. Anyways, so you follow Ed and Al, the two main characters, as they embark on trying to find the Philosopher's Stone, which they believe will give them their bodies back, because Al is in a suit of armor and Ed is missing his right arm and left leg. Yeah, I believe that's what they're missing. I know that's what Al's missing, but I always get his arm and his leg confused when people get mad, and I'm just like, I don't know all that specific knowledge. I can barely remember all the names. But I remember what happens, isn't that what counts? Anyways, Fullmetal Alchemist, I would highly recommend. As you can see, it's 64 episodes, so this isn't something you're gonna be able to knock out in one winter unless you, like, watch every episode in succession, and you don't sleep, you don't bathe, you don't eat. But it's definitely something to watch and not just knock off. Ha! I watched it. What else? This is something you're gonna have to invest in, and you're gonna cry. Cry all the tears, because I cried all the tears.